Test, test. Yes, there we go. There we go. Can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me now. Getting all this shit set up. Uh, all right, cool. Got all that shit fixed. If I send you the bin for my 9.5, will you tell if it's trash? What's the mods on the car? Like, what kind of mods does it have? And who tuned it? You tuned it? All right, cool. That's awesome. But yeah, somebody was asking about the Saab. I do still have the Saab. I drove the Saab not even a week ago, and that was the first time me driving it in about maybe 5 or 6 months. Uh, but yeah, it drove fine. I hit boost, did a full boost pull, spun the tires. That car is still working just fine. The only thing is that little second gear grind. But when I drove it, it only happened like twice. That's what I'm saying. Like whoever gets this car, personally, I feel like it's something very small that might need an adjustment. Because keep in mind, this $2,000+ transmission from Sweden has like not even 1,000 miles on it. So third gear I could do pulls, fourth gear I could do pulls. I did a pull in second gear, like a little roast the tires real quick, about half throttle. Doesn't take much, and yeah, it literally is fine. Why am I selling it? So I'm selling it just because, man, I've been driving the Evo for so long, and initially the Saab was like it was my daily. So then I went crazy with it, build it and all that shit. So I was like, all right, well I'm gonna take it easy on this one then, and I'm gonna drive the Evo. So and I found myself starting to drive the Evo more because, I mean, we gotta be honest, man. Like the Saab is a good car. Like I was driving and I was like, man, this shit's comfortable. Like it's really nice in my opinion. But compared to like the Evo, I just don't like. It still hypes me up. Like, I did the pull and I was like, oh my god, like it's pretty nuts. But I don't know, man. It's just I spent many years with that car, so, and I've had my fun. I mean, you saw the videos. I've done hundreds of pulls. Drove it to fucking Atlanta for SOC. I drove it like over 2,000 miles just to go hang out with people in Atlanta for the Saab convention. Raced out there, 1,000 miles from home, no issue. So so yeah, I mean, I've literally had all my fun with the Saab. I've done everything with that car. So it's just, it's not a big I don't know. It's just, I'm building a B2 to go in my B234 with T7 head. So the B234 with the T7 head, that seems to be a combo that some they call it the hybrid or whatever. I mean, that'll work. I think I tuned one. I never got what would it trap in the fourth? So I tried to take it. So I got bored like and I was like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the track. I never race at the track. I street race, I like to race on the street. It is what it is. So I go to the track. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to get the trap speed. I'm only gonna go to get the trap speed. So I went. We get there. Everything's okay, and then there's a video. Here. I'll post a link. Let me see if I can find it. There's literally I videoed this because I was like, all right, I'm gonna video this shit, and I mean I could just tell when the second, because I took off in first, but not heavily. It was kind of just a slightly accelerated first gear takeoff, not a launch by any means, 'cause that wasn't my goal. So I take off smooth. I get in the second, because that was my thing. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just get in the second as fast as I can, and then I'll hit it. So second gear, do a hit, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh my god, that thing it hooked in second. That never happens, never happens. And this track, it's so it was so sticky. I remember like lining up, and it sounded like my tires were flat, but that was actually the sound of the tires rolling on that, the track prep. It's real sticky, so it's like that sticky note. I was like, oh my god. So yeah, she hooked, and I think that's what did it, is because it hooked so aggressively. Because third gear came around. Here, I'm gonna send a link to that video. Third gear came along, and it was just, that was it. That's all she wrote. up. Here it is. No, no, I was on just regular street tire. The Pirelli P0 Neros, which I like. I mean, it's a good street tire, but yeah, nothing crazy at the track. It was exactly how it is on the street. It's just that track is, and that's the thing. No Saab is meant for that, man. No Saab is meant for that. That's why you see most of my videos. I'm roll racing. I roll race because that is the bread and butter of the car. Just got done building my 9.5 Arrow. Managed to get 510 torque out of there. I mean, with that kind of torque, I think it's still gonna spin. Like, if the only way it's gonna hook at all is a third gear, like, highway. Typically, you could try something like those. I don't know what country you probably, because you did the Newton meter, not foot pound. You're probably in Europe somewhere, but either way, you might have the Federal tires. Federal, it's like a real cheap, high performance tire. Uh, Here, Federal 595. I think it's RR, some shit like that. Like, Google that and you'll see those tires. Like, they're very cheap, like race tires basically. All right, let's see here. Got a shitload of DMs. Hold on one second. Oh yes. Okay, hold on. All right, so hold on. Gotta send this little base map out. So this one's for Evo red spec. So I was waiting for him to tell me what octane gas he's gonna be running this thing. Dual map E85 and pump gas, and he just hit me back 91. So make my adjustments for that and the timing, and he gets his map. Okay, 91. Alright, let's make these changes for 91. Alright, got that. Lower the target to about 25. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm in. Alright, gotta look at that. Okay, sweet, nice. 19T. Damn, you made a 510 on a 19T? The hell? Or what's that? What turbo are you running? Can't be a 19T, right? 510? Will? When you say second grind, does it do it? Yeah, no, it grind. Yeah, second gear. Second gear works. Like, everybody's like, oh, second gear works. Like, that's gonna be the next thing I do. I'm gonna video me driving the car. Second gear works. So sometimes it grinds, sometimes it doesn't. If you double clutch, it won't. But even if you do double clutch, sometimes it will. So some people have told me, because the shifter linkage feels real tight, I'm done spending money. I'm not dropping another dime on that car at all. So again, runs, drives. I did a pull, second, third, fourth, no problem. Works fine. I'm gonna video that. But yeah, no, it engages and it works. You can literally drive the car around normally. You can go race if you want to. Your call. All right, hold on. I'm minimizing this screen again. I got to send out this email. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. 1 second. All right. 1 second. Okay. 526. Okay. Map 091. All right. Sent that base map out. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yes, sir. What you say? Oh, okay, okay, I see. GTX 2967R. Nice. Very nice. How much M-Air are y'all running out of that in boost? Building 230. Okay, yeah, 370. Yeah, that's what I made on my 19T. Like well, it was 331 was the highest I hit wheel. So roughly, yeah, 380, 370, 380 range on a 19T. And all the torque. It made like hell 400 something torque or something like that, and it wasn't even pushed that hard. I think I ran like 1400 m air through it. Nothing crazy. Like it wasn't really cranked up. Now it's on 2000 m air. So building for 19T. So injector for pistons, you're gonna get the Wasner pistons. Cams, you can go with T5 cams. Fuel pump, go with a Warbro 450 just to rule out any issues there. Go with a 450 off the bat. And what else did you ask? Injectors, pistons, T5 cams. I mean, you don't have to go all balls to the wall on cams. And clutch, I like the spec stage 3 plus. I'm on year who knows with that clutch, and like I said, I drove it last week. It did not slip, and I don't even know how many miles that thing has on it. But yeah, it eats 500 wheel torque. So at the crank, it's even higher. Who knows what it? It's probably almost 600 plus foot-pound, and it holds it like a champ. With the stock flywheel, by the way, that's what I use. Let me see here. All right. All right, hold on. Be right back. 1 second. All right, I'm back. All right, let's see what we got here. Is there any upgrade for the? No, there's no upgrades for the transmission. I mean, the only upgrade there really is no like there's no technical like the only way because the gears stay the same. So the transmission that I got through MapTune, all it is like they do like a upgraded like crush I forget what they call it. I'm not a transmission builder, but I just tune. That's all I do. But yeah, it's got upgraded like I think it's called a crush washer or some shit like that. Uh like all the internals are just new is all it is, brand new parts, but the gears are still stock. And the issue that the Saabs have is like mine, it will literally eat the teeth off the gear when you're making some heavy torque. So it's not like the transmission like it's typically on high horsepower. Literally what occurs is the gear gets shredded clean. Like the gear on my third gear, it was ate clean. It was nothing. There was no teeth left. So the issue, it's you got to think like you can do these other little things, but the gearing is still gonna be the same in the end. So that's why I ended up chilling out. I was like, all right, well I'm gonna just leave the car here, cause I mean, hell, the thing made on the stock frame TD04, that motherfucker made like 400 something wheel torque, 434 wheel torque, and that shit was nuts. That shit was fast for real. Like I was hanging with 5.0s and shit with a Saab, mind you, like with a stock frame TD04, and nobody can appreciate or know how small that is. Like a Saab owner, a TD04, even the 19T is a small turbo, super small. It's nothing big by any means. So to make that that torque like that and power, I think that's impressive. It's pretty good. Max airflow. Nice, 1.8 bar. Nice. Drivability with the stage 3. Yes. So the spec stage 3, and make sure don't make this mistake. Don't get the stage 3. Get the stage 3 plus. That's very critical because the stage 3 is a 6-puck. I think it's an unsprung 6-puck. The stage 3 plus is a full face disc with springs. So the 3 plus is the superior clutch in my opinion. Like the break in, it was pretty rough. Like in the pedal engagement is lower. So unlike the stock Saab clutch, to me the spec it's like right off the the ground. So if you're cool with that, and breaking it in for a little bit, then yeah, it's nothing. Cause after break in, no issue, no problem. It's tidy, like there's not really much slip to it, but after once you get accustomed to the car yourself doing break in, no problem. It's not a factor. You could definitely daily drive. I did hell for years, literally. All right, let's see what else we got. All right. Max boost on a 19T. I mean, like I said, when I had the 19T, I didn't push it hard, and this is, and I'm about to say this. Some people know this. Some people don't know this. I went through two 19T setups. You know why? The first one failed. The first one died. So I ended up running the second one a little bit lower. 'Cause I was like, man, this might be because, like I said, a 19. A 19T is not a big turbo. It's really not. It's like the wheel is like that, bro. It's truly a small little turbo. So you gotta be careful. I know Robert her and them out in Sweden, they were running buku boos with these modified turbine housings and shit like that, you know. But they're, you know, professional. They have shop the means to replace it if the bearings go out and shit like that. But for the daily driver, every day you're gonna be riding this around with this 19T. I personally wouldn't run it beyond like 24, 25 pounds of boost peak. And I ran mine M Air. When I Saab tune, I don't think boost. It's weird. Like when I Evo tune, I think boost, but Saab, I think airflow, M Air. You know, because that's how all the software is laid out. So M Air wise, I didn't exceed, you know, 1400 M Air on the 19T, and I would forcefully taper it down too. You know, because most time your goal is to hold more boost or whatever. But this one, the second time around, I was a little bit more scared. I was like, all right, I'm gonna chill. So I lowered it. It would hit 1400 and taper down to about I think it was like 1260 to 1290 by redline, and I'd rev it to the stock redline. I wouldn't take it any further because you could see when I took it on the dyno, you know, even the power, it's not a climbing power band. You know, again, it's not a big turbo, but you look at the GTX setup. That looks like, you know, if I show you Evo graph in my side big turbo, you know, it has that constant just climb. Let's see. Would you advise against placing? I mean, hell, you could put a 19T on it if you wanted to. Just some people do that, and then you could just run it at a lower setting and probably make some good power still. Actually, like you could probably you basically be running things less hard is all it is. So you throw a 19T on it, tell the tuner to you probably just tell them to give you a stage 3 tune if you have stock internals. Stage 3 tune, mild, not aggressive, just mild, about maybe no more than 1300 m air peak, and then probably drop to about 1190 or so. And yeah, I think she'll live a long time at that setting. Oh yeah, the Evo. I went out, man. We had a little cruise. See, I do pulls, and I drive the Evo every single day, and I do pulls every single day. Even though I don't post shit or anything, promise you, that car gets pushed hard. Like I just do random pulls and shit, getting onto the freeway. As far as going out racing, we had that Galveston cruise here in Houston, and yeah, I got some damn good like bouncing off limiter at 8K pull, like all out full send, and yeah, no, it's good, but yeah, I don't really have that opportunity much because now I tune so much. Bro, there's so much behind the scenes that nobody really sees, but the emails are constant because not everybody I deal with is on Instagram or Facebook. I have people that email in, so it gets hectic, and that leads to me not really being able to do much. Or when I do get free time, I'm not trying to go race type shit. You know, it's not because I'm like worried. It's just I just want to chill. Could I buy a tune ECU? Tune ECU. Yeah, check out my boys. Like I, I still tune Saabs, but the only way I'll tune a Saab is if they have a tuner ECU or just any means to flash the bin. All I do is provide the software itself. Everything else will be up to the owner. So I've tuned some where, you know, the owner goes out, does his research, and, you know, because that's the thing. If you're going to e-tune, please don't go to somebody knowing nothing about cars, you know, because then it's not a good experience. So, yeah, I'd say definitely hit up Brew City Boost, bro. Here, I'll put there. Mercury. So if like I was just saying, so I don't know if you heard that portion. I just now seeing that, but basically what I was just saying ties to that. Like if you are able to you know, flash the car yourself and you understand flashing and, you know, logging and things like that in T7 suite, or you at least think you have the ability to learn that and you know cars and things like that, then, you know, we could do something. But if you just want a quick solution where they ship you an ECU, cause I'm only gonna provide the software, you know, and I'll do revisions obviously. So these other companies, they're gonna usually send you an ECU, and it's similar to an access port. It's a one and done. So if somebody comes to me, I'm a full tuning solution. I'm gonna fully go through the vehicle. I'm gonna, I'm not just gonna send you one file and be, all right, bro, here you go, man. Good, good luck. No, fuck no. I'm gonna be like, all right, man. So we start low and then we work our way up to your goal, and then end from there. Because sending ECUs back and forth, that's just way too time consuming. Yep. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. The Evo is still doing excellent. I just had the blown out. That's funny. That actually happened because of all the shit I was doing at the cruise. Like we did some heavy pulls, and but yeah, what was the fuck? I forgot the moral of the story. Shit. Oh yeah. Even with the blown gasket, everything was perfectly fine. Like I still, cause I could hear some. I was like, fuck. Still was doing pulls. Fuck it. But yeah, no, that thing is solid. It's A1. Definitely A1. Stage two. I'm hoping for high low. Yeah, high to low 3 Hunsky. Wait, are you the guy? Okay, yeah, if you put a 19T, then yeah, you can do that. Yeah, most people think that a stage three is gonna hit like 290 to 300. I say that's very aggressive to get there. If you get to like 300, maybe I say realistic stage three is like 270 to 285. Like, and 285 is even, that's a big stretch. I'm thinking more like 270, 280 range. Real, being 100% real, like realistically, that's about the range it'll fall in. Oh yeah, it's honestly, I can't lie, both are great. Both are hilarious. I laugh every time. Like every time I like pull somebody hard, like I'm just like laughing. Like it's the funniest thing. The Saab has a little edge because obviously it's a Saab, and like if you see the videos I have on the YouTube external views, because normally my shit's on in my car. So if you get an external view and you're like, what the, it's so funny, man. And the wastegate, cracks open. It's great. Let's see. So, Evo is faster. Yeah, Evo is faster. I mean, it might be close for a bit, but I think, like, yeah, I think taking off, brake boosted on both. The Saab has been spinning from a 60 lately. So, like, I think Evo might jump, but it might hold. But then I think because I could shift so fast in the Evo and not be, like, easy with it. Because the Saab, you got, like it even the build map tune trans, it still feels, you're like, it make I'm take it real easy. But the Evo trans bone stock, like, no short shifter, none of that shit, I'm banging the gears, like, and I've been doing that. My Evo has 99,000, it's about to hit 100K, and I've been doing that since 23,000 miles. Like that's when I bought the car. Like, and this has been years, and yeah, it's truly a great car. And that's the thing. Mine is not the only one. I'm not some prodigy. Like this is the thing. 4B11 is just that good. Like I guess when nobody really, I guess, took it that far, but now everybody's taking the chance to do it and succeeding for a long time. They're lasting. I haven't seen one go down quickly. So it's really impressive. For 19T, I had mine custom built by G Pop Shop. Look them up, G Pop Shop. So I sent them a turbine housing because and oh yeah, that's right. That was another thing. The turbine housing on the 19Ts I used, I had it. I went out and bought my own turbine housing, a 7 centimeter. So it's the biggest you can get for a stock flange, and for a TD04. So yeah, I had a 7 centimeter sent to G Pop Shop, and then they then assembled the 19. I asked for a billet wheel. So the first time, so I did testing with the first turbo had a 6+6 wheel layout, and then the second one I went with the GTX style, the 11 blade, where it's all equal. Dialing in a wastegate. So for that, that you just simply, what I do, you just electrically unhook the boost controller, and with everything still routed, you just literally unplug it, so it's gonna run on bass boost, and I'll go out and do some hits at bass boost, and that's where you establish what the car will hit boost wise with zero tuning interference. And then from there, you start, you make your increments and you make your climb and build your, boost curve. Yo, what's good, bro? What's going down? Yeah, right. There is no such thing as a 19T. Like these are all turbos are like that. Like I think people are finally starting to realize that shit. So they're like, because that's why I like, TPC, like great. It's all the same in the end. It's just some of these companies have a little bit more R&D money and can get maybe a different size turbine housing versus using the stock. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. Oh shit! It's saying there might be a lag. There's an error. Yo, what's up, Trovan? Yeah, I have a website here. Yeah, the Chinese so I support like my GTX 30 that's on the Saab now. That's from Mamba. They're out of Thailand. EG Takata, cool guy. Yeah, I talked to him direct, and cause I'm very when I do shit, I do, the same shit with like TPC. Like I'll go into it and I'll do my little research and legwork, and every time it works out. So the Mamba, yeah, that thing is going on year literally 4 or 5 turbo, like, and I had 31 pounds of boost flat. Like y'all seen the dyno sheet, y'all saw it, 31 flat for years. So I don't know what else to say. There is no such thing as like a Chinese, except like when it's just too good to be, when it's like $200 on eBay type shit. Because at that point I'd be worried about, oh, was it actually balanced? And they'll probably pull some bullshit like, oh, it's component balanced and blah blah. Nah, fuck that. I want it all, assembled balanced. So yeah, and usually you're paying, you can tell, I think the Mambas, they sell a 19T. Here, I'll try to find a link for you. Actually, yeah. See, that's the only thing with Mamba, but I bet you could hit them up, and they can, yeah, 880. Check this out. So you get this whole kit. Look at that. You get that whole fucking kit. Damn, that's actually a great deal. Yeah, so 880, they're giving you the internal wastegate with. See, that was the craziest part for me. They give you the internal wastegate with adjustable springs. Now it looks like they're including the stainless steel lines, which I do have from them, but back then when I bought from them, it wasn't bundled. So I'd bought the lines from them separate. But yeah, holy shit, that's a. Yeah, this car makes some power. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, I drove. I mean, it has a secondary like grind and second gear, but yeah, it's on the Maptune built trans. That thing, it's got maybe 800 miles on it or so. But yeah, I drove it last week, last weekend. Check these messages right quick on Instagram. Man, Saab. I'm just like I said earlier, I'll still tune them T7s and stuff like that, but it's got to be a very special case. Like the person I'm dealing with is gonna have to have a little bit of knowledge as well. So yeah, and going into the 2.8 world, I don't think that I don't see that happening. Now, my next step actually. Hold on, let me get some water. Holy shit. Yeah, appreciate it, Alex. Appreciate that. Got this. All right, man. Yeah, take it easy, man. Good talking with you. Merry Christmas. Chat with you later. I'm gonna try to be more like involved with social media, so I want to like stream more and shit like that. Since I do most of this full time, so I'm like, well, let me fill some of the gap with streaming or work while I stream. So fuck it. It's wrong for me. It's got me and you know. Oh, okay. That's what's up, bro. Yeah, yeah. 2-8 life. I'm good. I definitely favor the Evo for sure. I've always liked like four cylinder turbo. Like I had a STI back in the day actually. Well, I mean people didn't know I had a STI in like '08. I had a '06 Hawkeye, and I just always loved that style of sedan. But Saab, it's I don't know, like just it doesn't fit the look fully. Still a great looking car, but when I drive the Evo, I'm looking, I'm like, oh yeah, it looks dope. I enjoy it. Then the handling is nuts. The Recaros, being because that's the thing. We're talking performance, which I like, but on the other hand of that, the Saab is equally amazing. Because like I said, when I drove that last week, it's like, oh hell yeah, heated seats, AC seats, super comfortable, fully adjustable seats, sunroof, leather everywhere. It's like it's nice. So they're both nice, but right now I like the Evo. Stock So on stock block, if you can get cams, like if you can, shell out the money to, cams labor, then I'd say go for that. Because what you can do is while you're in there, some people will get the ARP studs, so they'll stud that shit down, because the stock will do it too, and so S2 it'll be able to handle it, but you'll get a benefit from it. The benefit will be you won't have to run it as hard, the turbo. So like say we run your car at 28 pounds flat, it's making the same power that a stock head car makes at like 32 flat. See what I'm saying? So like technically the cammed stock block car is running better, is running less stressful basically. So if you can get cams, yeah, I could definitely go with cams. But somebody who has stock, it's no problem too. It's either whatever way you want to go with it. And yeah, the Saab is definitely is full sleeper. Yeah, I don't consider the Evo as like sleeper, like I don't refer to it as like a sleeper, but it like low key is, but not nothing like the Saab. Like the Saab, I legitimately introduced that car as a sleeper, straight up. Like that car, dude. I was like, man, I wish they had better transmissions. Cause I don't know if y'all watch Netflix, that show, Fastest Car, where they have like sleepers going there and shit. So I was like, dude, I bet you I could get the Saab on there and probably do damn good against some of these cars. But the issue is they go from a dig, so it's like fuck, I'd have to backtrack it. But yeah, I was like, man, that might could work. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me see. Uh, is this better for sound? Um, most surprising, probably most like shocking, and it was like barely, like it was the craziest thing, was a Pro Charged Camaro SS, 6th gen, not that old shit, 6th gen, Pro Charged Camaro SS, man, in the Saab, and I was like, that shit shook me to the core. 'Cause I think like on those races, I'll rev it out like past red line, cause they don't 2.3 don't rev out that much, but yeah. Here, let me see. It shouldn't be that low. It shows me. Hold on 1 second. Audio. Yeah, it should be pretty good. But yeah, now the yeah Saab is it's crazy. But yeah, we're running like see the that's why you say like the most surprising. Well, I'd say the Camaro, but the most like the funniest is like probably like the shit like the Audi R8. You know, that's that, and I knew that was gonna happen because this dude, he it's a first of all it's the V8. Let's be real, V8. So I already knew. I was like, oh, he's about to get literally raped badly, like super bad. And so yeah, I had somebody where I was like, record this because this is going to it's gonna be funny. Yeah, it's top down and shit. Yeah, that's a funny ass race right there. Like badly, and I took off spinning. Like it was the funniest shit. Let me see. I'm gonna link that video. That video, man. I haven't gone. Sometimes I go through, and that's why I'm kind of content if I sell the side, bro. I have look at all these videos, man. Like it's, I can go back and relive it and shit like that. You know, driving it again, kind of like it's like, oh, but it is what it is. I had a lot of fun in this car. Let me see. Where is it? Oh yeah, right here. Yo, what's up? Hold on one second. Let me go check the baby. I like the Supra. I like the new Supra. I would like to. That's funny you said that. I was like looking up like their tuning solutions and stuff like that because that's the next thing I need to do is I want to first probably get into the access port world so that way I can tune with one software tune speed threes, Focus STs and things like that. So Mustangs. I think the EcoBoost. Yo, what's up, dog? What's going on, bro? Let's see. I had the yeah, the Saab 900 is the one. That's the cams that I'm running in mine right now. And no, actually, the tune you might have to change like air fuel, but other than that, like, and I see that being a big maybe with those drop-ins. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't recommend launching. Like, I've launched the car. I know how to launch all-wheel drive. Like I said, I had the STI and I launched the balls out that thing. That's all I did was dig only, dig or die type shit. So yeah, nah, I can launch, but nah, in the Evo, nah, I'm good on that shit. But yeah, if you were to, usually like what it is you're gonna, as you're ready to go, kind of like it's kind of like stepping in dog shit. How you kind of do that like slow pickup to check, and then once you see you lift it kind of fast. So like once it engages, is pretty much like you're waiting for that little bit of movement at all. And once you feel it, once the slack has been brought, you dump that hoe, basically. You should get into the yeah, no, the Supra, like that's what I'm saying. Like I was looking into what software they use and stuff like that. So definitely something that I would consider. did you build? The Saab was that was a pricey little venture. Cause like I said, went through two 19Ts. Then did the hold on, what's this? Super chat. Oh, let's see. Oh, I think I know. All right. But yeah, no, the Saab, it that shit costs quite a bit because I did the 19T. But yeah, but even before that, did the stage three, and then that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna build it, and nothing was wrong with it. Shipped the car, the whole car, to San Diego to Stephen Boykin, and yeah, I was like, take the car. I shipped it with all the pistons in the trunk, turbo, clutch, like everything was in the trunk of the car. Put it on a hauler, shipped it to him. He did everything, got it all handled. There's a thread online somewhere with pictures and shit like that. Hold on, let me find it. Uh, yeah, he had him do everything. He took about this was the most impressive part. Through this whole ordeal from ship to return, 4 weeks. So I was like, oh hell yeah, that's fucking amazing. So yeah, everything went without a hitch. Everything is super smooth. He never once hit me up with an issue or nothing. It's all good. So he's a guru. I don't know if he still dabbles with Saab stuff, but if I ever were to do anything else Saab related, it always will go to him for sure. Tried it once. Yeah, you gotta be careful on that launch, man. 'Cause if you're on stock clutch with that pill, that's a quick way to eat that clutch. And that's when you see the post, my clutch is slipping at 30K miles, help. That kind of shit. So be real careful, man. I'm telling you. I tell people, I'm like, just avoid it. Just don't. Why? I just stick to roll rate, which is it's fun to me. All wheel drive, doing a little 20 roll or something. That's pretty. It's pretty fun. Nothing like a dig, I get it, but yeah, for the sake of having shit last. All right, bro. Yeah, take it easy, man. Have a Merry Christmas, man. Have a good one. All right, I'm probably about to get off in a little bit. Take a little break, feed the kid, get some lunch. Yeah, I'll probably be back though. I might just stream a lot, become a streamer or some shit. I don't know. That's a thing now, so who knows? So yeah, I'll probably be back a little later. Here, let me answer this. What is this? What do you think of the 5 speed versus blind? I would stick with the 9.5 arrow personally. It's perfect. I mean, there is some Saab 9000s out there, but nothing really notable, I guess, for a while. But the 9.5 to me, the chassis itself and the handling, it's decent for what it is. I'll just say that. For having handling 500 wheel horsepower, 500 torque plus, shit like that. It does well, for what it is. Cause the other ones, I think they spin more. Like my car will spin, yes, but I think the 9.5 has less traction issues out of all the heavily modified Saabs, in my opinion, from what I see. What's up, host Sway? Yeah, my ex is it's doing great, bro. Like it's about to hit 100K. I was planning on doing like a little video. I was probably gonna hook my GoPro up to when it's like 999, and then do a pull like as it's hitting 100,000 miles, just to show her like, yeah, my car is fine. But yeah, it hits 32 pounds of boost, holds 31 up top, 8K RPM, and I'm doing pulls every day, basically. Like, I take the kid to school, drop her off, I'll be coming, it's cold as shit in the morning. Hell yeah, I'm gonna do a fucking brake boosted 40 roll getting onto the freeway. Daily, you know what I mean? It's all good, man. It's all good. Oh man, Volvo. Volvo. See, I know a lot about Volvo. I sold Volvos for several years, new Volvos. The new Volvos are very nice, man. If you can get a S90 T8, fuck yeah. Forget the Saab, man. Definitely get the S90. For a B235, I would keep it like no more than like 300 wheel horsepower. To be just being real, like that's like, and that's assuming you want all aggressive, full out, because even at that point, anything can happen. The piston for what like, because look at what I did to mine. You don't have to do much to bulletproof it. It's literally just it has a piston issue. The pistons are very weak. So some people like me, if your miles are okay, the cylinders are okay, and everything like that, you can go through and you can just take the crank out, take the head off, bore, do a little ball hone with the drill, make sure it gets cross hatching, and install some stock diameter pistons, forged pistons. That's what I did years ago, by the way, on a car that's still okay. So that's definitely something that you could do as well for not that much money. A lot of people think that the build process has to be extremely expensive. Yeah, I don't. I think you could. A lot of people don't realize you could achieve it for less than you think, especially on a Saab. Like, just you take the head off, take the pan off, throw some fucking Wassners in there. They're like 550. Or actually, hit me up. I sell parts now, so I could probably beat any deal Wassner I can get actually. So any parts anybody needs or anything like that, let me know, and I can check my accounts and see if I can get you a better deal. Save you some money. This is my day job, so I tune full time. So I was saying this way earlier. So there's a lot of behind the scenes action that goes on, with tuning the amount of cars I'm tuning. I literally can honestly say I don't think that anybody out there is tuning the volume of cars that I'm taking in. Like within the last week, I've taken four, tunes in. So it's a very high volume. So at that point, because I used to do this, I did this for about a year, almost 2 years now, where I would take and I tune here and there, and shit like that. They'd hit me up. I'd be like, all right, whatever. And I didn't even have a name. I was literally just randomly tuning, whoever would come to me or whatever. So then it got to the point where that started growing really quickly. So then I was like, all right, well, I'll name it something. And then it just blew it from there. And then that's when I was like, I have to make the choice. Do I keep? Because like I told the other guy, I sold Volvos. I was an internet sales manager at a Volvo dealership, new Volvo dealership, doing great. Like everything is cool there. But I was like, well, here comes tuning now. And it's like the workload of tuning is starting to interfere with what I'm doing at the dealership. So that's why I was like, all right, well, I can make that transition to where I'll devote 100% time to tuning, and also I'm a photographer as well. So I don't really advertise much of same thing how the tuning started off. I don't advertise much. If I get hit up for a gig, cool. If not, no problem. It's all just for fun. So yeah, so I tune full time, sell parts, whatever it is. Armando, bruh, I would go build if I was you, man. Just saying, like I would go build if possible. But you could save a shitload of money by just doing, the take a whole long block, swap that shit right in, be cheap. So if I put bigger, yeah, if you put forged pistons into the 235, then there's no like the motor, I would like confidently say at that point by literally just throwing some forged pistons in there. I'd say at that point is when uh, is when it's rated to at least 700 wheel, probably stock crank. Just be careful on the torque, the rods. That would be the next thing is actually the rods. But everybody told that to me. They're like the rods, the rods. There's no way the rods. It's like all right. So we made first. It's been eating like 400 torque, the 434, 430 to 440 torque at the wheels. It ate that for 2 years. Fine. Then I got bored and I was like, all right, I did the 219T setups. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go all out. So, custom tubular manifold. Built that shit right under the shed. Had Brett Willett. He works at what's that Lambo? There's a Lamborghini place in Dallas that they build like, it's kind of like underground racing. I think it's called Dallas Performance. This dude builds manifolds. He built, if you know White Rice, he built that manifold. There's a CTS-V. I don't know if you ever saw that. It's a coupe and it has a giant center mount. He built the kit for that too. So he's a great guy. Came over, built the manifold custom, got the Mamba 30 GTX 3071R on a. I don't know why I did this. This was the part where I was like, why the fuck would I do that? But it's on a T25 flange still. So I use a T25 flange, a big fat runner manifold in a 38 mil tile wastegate. And that's when we made 500. What did it make? 30, 530 something torque at the wheel, and it to this day it eats that, and that was years ago. So on stock rods, mind you. So yeah, Dallas Performance. Yeah, he works at Dallas. Yeah, he Brett Willett. He's builds nutty manifolds. He worked for like major shops here. Like he does good ass work. Uh, Chicago. I would say just keep the 235 and put forged pistons. Cause who did that? Boykin did that. Boykin, he did a one of those hybrid builds, and he complained. Cause what it does is the 234 bottom with the 235 head, it causes a loss of compression. So like the pressure ratio is lowered, effect because it's not the same height. I think it is. And he noted that the car is a dog, like super, like just sluggish, very very sluggish, despite tuning and everything. It's just like a naturally sluggish feel because the compression is so low at that point. So I'd say just keep the 235. To be honest, make it keep it simple. Why switch shit up? Just 235, forged pistons. That's it. That's literally it. Would be possible. Two JZ and a Saab. What? Are you trolling, bruh? Are you trolling? Nah, that wouldn't be. I don't think that'd be because then you'd have to. There's a guy who you probably seen that thing, or some of y'all saw people at some point. The guy who Cameron, he tried to build a 9.5 with the motor in the drive, a rear wheel drive basically. He's trying to make it a rear wheel drive. So he had the motor, you know, the opposite way with the flywheel, but basically, long story short, he never could get it to work, and they're parting the car out. Yeah, they wouldn't. It's just not. I mean, unless he tried. He had the means and everything. He had bought a rear end for it. He had everything mapped out, and they could not get that. Like the amount of money you would drop trying to accomplish something like that, you can go buy, a whole new car that will blow what you're about to build out the water either way. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's why you gotta be careful with Saabs, man. Just don't go too crazy with it. No, it's all good, bro. Like saving money is the goal. Like even when I deal with people, like I'm not like I won't recommend you the most expensive part, whatever like that. Like everybody wants to save money, so the cheapest route for you would be that forged piston route. Like I mean, cause think about it, all you do is 550. 550. I bet you I could beat that deal too. But I know that's what I paid for the Pistons back in the day. But I probably could get even less than that. Um, And yeah, just literally like ball hone the cylinders. Check, this is assuming your car is okay though. Obviously, I'm not just saying like, oh, it's gonna be perfect or whatever. This is assuming the car. All right, awesome. All right, we got a log here. Give me a second. All right, hold on 1 second. I'm about to be checking my emails in 1 second for the Evo X Mapcast, man. It depends. Personally, I like the Mapcast, but god damn that one bolt is a bitch, bro. Like the where it connects to the turbo, the one like closest or front of the car passenger side. God, it's fucking brutal. But yeah, the Mapcast though is excellent. I mean, cause you gotta think about it. The odds of any cracking is basically non-existent. But tubular, there always is that chance, especially condensation in the morning and shit like that, heat cycles. The Mac cast is kind of a set it and forget it, and you really is no real issue to it. And plus, there's somebody out there that I've tuned with a map cast making it. It's 750 plus. That's what it's been shown on Virtual Dyno. Like, and I believe it's up there. This thing, and we're going up to 40 pounds with it. So, and this is all on a map cast. So, yeah, map cast is good. But yeah, I'm not saying though the map cast will make more power. If you're after just power, forget everything else, longevity. Just power's your goal. The tubular. All right, hold on. Let me get to these emails. Okay. Missing some stuff. All right. No, he's not on a GT spec. Mm-mm. He's on the Garrett 3584 RS. But there is one on a GT spec that's making. He made 668 on a dyno jet. But realize dyno jet you get heat soaked, but on the road, that thing on a VD, it's seen 700 before, like 680, 690, and even some 700 wheel horsepower hits. And TPC is coming out with even a bigger one too. So there'll be another way to make some power on the TPC turbo. So, but they haven't released specs yet, so I don't have specs, but it is something that is coming. Appreciate it, Josue. Do what I can, bro. I've replaced the PCV, rebuilt my TD4. Yeah, how many miles you have on that Saab? Under 100? Let me see. Let me see here. All right. Also, how much horsepower? 6-speed auto. The auto trend, not much. Not much. Probably just a stage two. Just typical stage two, stage three. Beyond that, But it'll be fine on stage 3 tune, I'm sure. So, recipe for 1,000 horsepower Saab, bro. Come on, man. That the recipe for that is a lot of money, basically unlimited funds. I think to hit 1,000 on a, cause even Goodlum in Sweden couldn't even hit that shit. He made what 800 or something, and I know he's probably spent like God, like 40 plus thousand dollars. I'm assuming like he had it all, man. It's just crazy. Still didn't hit 1,000. So yeah, 1,000. Come on, bro. It's truly go get a 5.0 and twin turbo it or some shit. Yeah, that's some good power, man. That's good power for sure. How much boost you running on the stock turbo? All right, 28 psi, nice man, very nice. Some good power. Thank you, Jason. 400 on stage two. 400 on stage two. Stage two is more like about 280 horsepower. Yeah, 400 is not gonna occur, trans or not, because of the motor, the stock pistons. Selling the Saab. I had it for a long time. I've done it all. Because the next step of the Saab is not race more, because I've already done that for years. The next step of the Saab is to spend more money and change the setup. You know how it goes. I just don't want to do that again. I've spent way too much. So I rather, because the Evo hadn't got to that point yet. So I'm like, well, maybe it's time. It's time to move it on, to pass the torch. Will you tune my car? No. I'm fucking with you. I guess the Supra is better. Just yeah, get the Supra. Get the Supra or get an Evo, man. You know, see what you can get. All right, let me check this email. Yeah, yeah. I took the. Hold on, there's some videos. Oh yeah, here it is. True Turbo, True Turbo. I've heard that name before. The True Turbos. Let me look it up. Nah, actually nothing comes up. But I've seen it. I think it's just like somebody just building the. Let me see. Hold on. Mm-mm. No, there's nothing online about it, but I mean, turbo. Again, turbo's a turbo as long as it's been balanced and everything like that. Like brand and all that. Literally, it does not. It doesn't mean shit. It's just they're taking a certain spec size compressor wheel that they massively produce. They have they order a bunch of them. They have them all in stock, and they slap that with the whatever spec turbo, and then they call it whatever, and that's it. A turbo is just it's all the same. Oh, Chris Robbins. Yeah, no, I've tuned Robbins turbos. Like I said, I've seen some just not make like power unusually. Like it was just odd to me. And in other tuners, like it's not just a me thing. Like I've had some come to me where they're like, "Oh, well, this tuner only got this," and I might be able to get a little bit more, maybe another 30, 40 or something like that. And then I hit the wall where it's like, well, it's not doing shit else. It's literally not gaining anything. So no matter how much boost you throw at it, I've seen some at 33 pounds, like excessive, still showing 500 wheel, 480 wheel. So it's like, yeah, that's kind of strange. But no, as far as like reliability though, they don't blow up or nothing. Like everybody I know with one is fine. Cause I'm not here to talk shit about any brands or anything like that. But I always just recommend TPC because I run it. A lot of other people I tune run it. I've seen it a lot. But I'll tune whatever. I heard somebody say that. You're gonna like the GT spec, but the T51R mod, I think somebody sent me that. Somebody was like, "Yo, check this out. Can you tune it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's tuning is the same shit, but yeah, I thought that was cool. It's like makes a specific sound or something like that. It makes it super loud, spool sound basically, something like that." Yeah, it's just like a compressor housing mod. Yeah, I mean, only thing is you probably are gonna have to do something about the intake. Well, no, not really. Actually, that should still work because it's the same thing as having that little 3 bolt adapter thing with the inlet basically. Kind of the same. You might need to change the coupler up if anything, maybe. But yeah, just check into that. But yeah, other than that, should be good. Yeah, like I said, somebody sent it to me and they sent me like some video clips and it sounds good to me. Yeah, it just might be the coupler is all. That's probably it. But it should be very super simple to figure out. I'm sure to make it work. All right, All right, well, I'm probably gonna hop off for a little bit, go get some lunch. But like I said, I'm gonna try to stream more, just to interact or whatever. I mean, like I said, everybody's streaming now, so might as well join them. But yeah, I'll probably be back a little later. Try to do this more often, and yeah, thanks for joining. Fun chatting with you guys, and talk to you later.